climbed Ararat together. That expedition was cut short by a 2-day blizzard. Wilde is producing a movie based on his 6-year search for the Ark and hopes to have it released in theaters in 2 years. Mackenzie's family is hoping that he is still alive, possibly being held a captive of Kurdish rebels who may want to ransom him. Concerns of a possible collapse of the Chernobyl nuclear reactor located in the Ukraine has prompted European Union agencies to scramble to obtain funds to build a structure to enclose the reactor. On the 26th of April 1986, reactor number 4 on the site had an explosion that began the leaking of radiation into the area. 30 people died from the explosion and over 4,000 have died prematurely from the effects of the radiation. Even today, those who lived near the site at the time of the accident are developing cancers and health complications. A covering of concrete was quickly erected over the reactor to contain the radioactive leak. In the 25 years since the disaster occurred, the concrete structure has become unstable. If the concrete shell collapsed, it would release large amounts of radiation into the atmosphere. The plans for a new containment structure are for a steel building that would be the largest movable structure ever built, and one of the world's biggest buildings at 180 meters high, 257 meters long, and 164 meters wide. Work has started on the building in an area near the reactor site, and when it's completed it will be moved onto the Chernobyl reactor. They will then use cranes and other automated technologies to dismantle the old reactor inside it. Also, they will use the structure to store nuclear fuel from other nuclear reactors there. This new structure is designed to safely contain the radiation for 100 years. The Russian word Chernobyl translates into wormwood. The name wormwood appears in the book of Revelation, chapter 8, verse 10 through 11, and is associated with the sounding of the third trumpet. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters, and the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the water because they were made bitter. When the Chernobyl disaster occurred, some speculated that it was the fulfillment of Revelation 8:10 prophecy. And when the Chernobyl reactor suffered its second hydrogen explosion, it blew the 2 million-pound concrete lid off the reactor, launching radioactive particles 1 mile into the air. This radioactive cloud drifted over the USSR and Europe. As radioactive rain fell over these areas, it polluted the rivers, soil, and animals. It is estimated that 125,000 people in the Ukraine have died because of exposure to the radiation, and up to 2 million may yet die early from the effects of the contamination. The reactor is still dangerous and we may yet see another release of radioactivity due to accident or natural disaster. A new photo of a lake creature has recently come to light. The photo taken by Tom Pickles shows a long, humpback creature swimming in Lake Windermere in England. The English version of Scotland's Loch Ness Monster is not as well known, but it has been sighted 8 times in the past 5 years. Reports of lake monsters are not exclusive to Loch Ness. Iceland, Canada, and Turkey all have had sightings of serpentine lake creatures in their countries. 24-year-old Tom Pickles was kayaking in Lake Windermere with members of his IT company in a team-building exercise. When he saw an animal the size of 3 cars speed past him on the lake, he observed the animal for about 20 seconds. Recounting the experience, he stated, "It was petrifying. We paddled back to shore right away. At first I thought it was a dog, and then I saw it was much bigger and moving really quickly at about 10 miles an hour. Each hump was moving and in a rippling motion, and it was swimming fast. And his skin was like a seal's, but its shape was completely abnormal, and not like any animal I have seen before." The creature was also seen by Sarah Harrington, who described it as an enormous snake. The pair had kayaked out 300 meters on the lake near Bell Island before they spotted it. Tom Pickles was able to capture the creature on his camera phone. Photo experts say the picture looks real, but because of the file size of camera phone pictures, they can't be sure if it was photoshopped and faked or not. A rare sight was recently caught on a video in China. In early March, a video of two suns setting in the Chinese sunset was taken. The suns are seen side by side, and one is a more yellow orb and the other was orange and less defined. The double sun images are very rare and are due to atmospheric conditions that cause a mirage effect. It is speculated that a thick patch of atmosphere was in the right place at the right time to cause the two-sun spectacle. Astrobiologist Dr. Richard B. Hoover claims in his new study that he has found proof of alien life on a meteorite. The alien life Dr. Hoover is speculating of is fossilized bacterial life inside the space rock. His study was published in the March edition of the Journal of Cosmology. Dr. Hoover, who works at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, has been traveling to remote locations in Antarctica, Siberia, and Alaska, collecting and examining meteorites for the past 10 years. Dr. Hoover came across evidence of alien bacterial life when he was studying a rare class of meteorites called carbonaceous chondrites. Dr. Hoover took the meteorites to a sterile environment. He would then broke pieces off the meteorites and then looked inside the broken surface with an electron scanning microscope. The microscope revealed the fossilized bacteria, similar to types found on Earth, but also bacterial that is unique. Dr. Hoover is so confident of his findings that he has invited over 100 experts to review his findings, as well as general invitations to over 5,000 scientists to come and give their analysis. While it is significant that a NASA scientist is confirming bacterial life outside of the planet of Earth, it has been suspected for a long time. Like water on Mars, people looking at pictures on Mars have known for years that standing water was on the planet, and it took NASA many more years to admit what others had already detected. Friday, March 11, 2011, saw one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded to hit Japan. The 9.0 earthquake was soon followed by a 33-foot tsunami that destroyed northeastern Japan. At this time, over 4,000 people are listed as dead, but the number is expected to eventually exceed 10,000, possibly even 25,000, as there are still thousands unaccounted for. Many of the tsunami victims were swept out onto sea. One man was rescued when he was found floating on a piece of roof 10 miles out on the ocean. Unfortunately, many people were not as fortunate as that gentleman. 2,000 bodies had washed on shore days after the tragedy. The tsunami has caused the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear complex to teeter on a major meltdown similar to the Chernobyl incident. Many explosions have rocked the complex, and releases of radiation into the atmosphere have occurred. The earthquake and tsunami have displaced over 452,000 people. It will take many years for Japan to recover from this disaster. Thank you for your interest in this show, and may God bless and keep you.
The Revelation 13 podcast is hosted by Mike Hopwood and is a podcast dedicated to the study of end-time events, news events, and ancient mysteries.